get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show.
Have you heard the phrase being too black?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, and that's something like you try to tread around because you don't want to get that label, obviously. Well, even though like that's not even like a bad thing
I
because
know.
like it's just something that because you're always trying to fit in and you just want to be like a part of like a member of society, that you don't get labeled a certain thing. You just want to be a person.
Yeah.
But then being too black, like, yeah, it's not an actual issue because you're just being yourself, but then it's just how people perceive you. And having that level of understanding of being just around black people or any sort of minority, you would not really think that way. But then only like certain, like only like closed communities would think you're too this, you're too that. They don't really open up to how people are. And even if you are maybe too black or too whatever minority you are, if you are raising points which are intelligent and actually conducive to the actual community and society and actually helping the society and making it actually better, what does it matter?
Exactly. Exactly. And it hurt me the first time I heard it. It was somebody black who used it and said, I don't want to come across as too black. And that's where I found it a little bit like, oh my God, yeah, actually. But I understood it straight away.
Yeah.
Because I can just translate that into being too Asian or too Pakistani or too whatever, it just and I just it's the lack of understanding that people are going through these things and actually code switching to hide parts of them just to appease or to be accepted or to be, to be at that level, to be anywhere near the level playing field. Not even necessarily, it doesn't necessarily equal a level playing field, but you're doing what you can before you even start the race. You're already having to prep in a really different way, unfortunately.
Because you're just not sure. Well, you're prepared for anything, for one thing, and you're prepared for the possibilities of someone being able to get ahead of you, someone tripping you up because of something that you did, not getting agitated or annoyed by anything.
Yeah.
Being calm, don't get in a label, don't standing out, doing your job better than everyone else.
And, I had a great conversation with Alicia in America, and we were talking about her hair.
Yeah.
And and it was a similar thing, that actually she didn't want her hair, she's mindful of how she dresses her hair. Alicia, I love your hair, and I think I've said it before, but you're always with me, you're just there, a sticker. And exactly what you said, it makes no difference. It makes no difference.
Yeah.
But you don't want to look too ethnic, or you don't want to look too, and it's just that, how do I just fit in? What do I have to do to just fit in? And similarly, just coming back to the Christmas date and just it's those little things that you don't have to explain if you're not of color.
Yeah.
That because and it would just be so nice if people did ask the questions instead of thinking, can I ask this question? Can I, is it offensive to ask the question? Of course not. If you ask the question in a genuine way, it's not offensive to anybody.
No, and I think it's just because it's not like a Christmas day, so it's just like they feel like they should like know it, or feel like it's been happening each year and every year, and it's just like they haven't had the chance or time to actually look it up outside of it, even though they have phones in their pocket they can easily see, but they want to ask it first hand. And also they're probably ashamed of actually typing the question out on Google. So they like
And
they
it's
would use a litmus test of you.
but it would just be so nice if people just got to know their colleagues and got to
Yes.
know what is your background, what did your family go through to get
Yeah.
here,
Yes, exactly. No.
without and the other side of that is without people receiving those questions defensively.
Mm. Yes.
That there's an element of that as well, that why are you asking me, did you ask the white person
Yeah.
about there? But there's an element where I think you need to create that safe environment before you ask those questions, is
Yes.
one thing I would say.
I think it's because there's also the assumption of like where you're from. I'm sure people have assumed where you're from and probably got it wrong.
Yeah.
And then and
I get it all the time.
yeah, no, it's
It's like 2 million people died.
Yeah.
It just
Um
over the country that I come from. So yeah.
But and yeah, that you get that so they ask that question and then they expect, I'm not sure what they're expecting, but or they skirt around it. And yeah, so just about having that naturality, and it is purely because of the facts of like we don't really ask everyone's heritage, because sometimes the heritage is quite obvious. And so for like them to kind of
But we still can, right?
yeah, you can.
We
and
still can.
and
We just feel like we can't. Is that a British thing?
I think so. Politeness. The polite British way of, oh, sorry, like, where are you from? Like, what is your background? And I feel like people don't even know how to answer the question, because most of the time I just ask people, like, hey, what's your background? Like because they're the comedic way online, where you see like little skits of people doing, it's like, yeah, where are you from? It's just like down the road.
No,
Like,
but where are you from?
where are you from?
Yeah.
Things like that. So like they don't want to fall into that trap.
No.
So instead of just saying like, yeah, what's your background? Like, yeah, what is your background?
But you know what? It does depend how you're asked. And
Yeah.
I've sometimes just gone London, because I want to be awkward, right? I'll get prickly sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from London, and then they just go, oh, okay, she doesn't want to say anything else. Just stop there. And it just so but it's about not being defensive about you being asked, and just to actually, and sometimes just to offer it yourself.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with offering it. I think it's I think that there's this whole kind of certainly my ancestors probably never thought that my dad would take the step to leave and all of that, that. So it was a big deal.
Yeah.
When I look back at our family history in the 60s and the 70s, and it was a huge deal.
Yes.
But now it's a completely different. Now I don't know any of my family who are. Everybody's out. Everybody's somewhere in the world.
Yeah. Really
scattered actually across the globe. And it just, that's how we evolve. That's natural progression and natural curiosity. And travel has improved. Air travel is more frequent than it was when my dad first came to the UK, and more accessible. So the whole planet, the demographics, when you look at the planet as a whole, has changed. Yeah. And there needs to be some consideration for that, I think.
Yes. In terms of information, and just terms of actually just like, we're not an island anymore where people where it's going to be like a small influx of people come in. It's a very wide, like the world is a lot smaller, let's put it that way. Like a lot smaller than what it used to be.
And if there was one piece of advice that you would just thinking of that code switching and that bits of your heritage that perhaps you didn't share, and I don't mean the bits you didn't want to share, I mean the bits that you felt you couldn't share. What would you say to your younger self?
Be confident. Like I one of my colleagues asked me today about something, because I think I shown the last video because one of my colleagues my new colleague was curious about it, and then she asked me, "Is like, have you always been this confident?" I was like, "No." No. I was like, I don't even feel confident now. I just feel like I feel more able to actually use my words and be comfortable in expressing myself. That comfortability in expressing yourself, because before, you're not sure if you're going too far or you're not going far enough when you're younger.
Or what did you care what people thought? Because I've reached a point where I don't now.
Yeah, not now, but like, well,
of course I do. Of course I do
now, but
like not in the same way.
No, not totally not. Like I can walk into a room and talk to virtually anyone. Back when I was a child, it was just keeping yourself. Don't be the one which is out there, because someone's going to pick on you about something, and you may not like it. So keep yourself to yourself. Toe the line. Don't do anything silly.
And I don't know about you, I don't know if culturally this aligns, but oh my God, it was like, remember who your parents and your grandparents are. Yes. Remember who you are. That was like drummed into us. That, oh my God, if any of us, I remember my sister once, and a really nice neighbor came running home from school and knocked on, and she was at school with my sister. Yeah. We didn't get on with this neighbor. And said that she'd seen my sister, and she said to my mum, I just thought I'd let you know that she's going to be a bit late because she went to the chip shop, and her and one of the other girls are eating chips walking home, and grassed her. I'm talking about, like, you couldn't make it up, classic 70s kind of neighborhood watch. And this girl was very good and whatever, and my mum went crazy because we were not allowed to eat on the road. Yeah. You do not eat. And there's a part of me that's still like that. There's still a bit of like, oh God, I'm gonna eat something as I'm walking on the street. I feel like I'm doing something really naughty. Yeah. And it feels like a treat. But we were not supposed to be seen eating on the, my mum was more British than the British, I think. Yeah, no, it's a what's that? We call her Mrs. Bouquet. We do call her Mrs. Bouquet. Yeah, no, it's about keeping up with appearances and just having like that your little twists of things. Like, I feel like not many people, and I'm gonna put this online, not many people have rice with their roast dinners. Do you have rice with your roast dinners? Caribbean thing. I did ask my friends from Ghana and Nigeria. They don't do it either. But Caribbean thing. We add rice to our roast dinners. Try it. Nice. Try it. You will never have it. I'm taking that as an invite. Try it. Like, you come over. We got there eventually. Yes. It just, and those things are really enriching. I don't ever slow up. No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you want to play tough and want to hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.